As I lay in bed at night, all I can think about is how is Dominaria United faring against some of the big hitters, like Double Masters 2022? Welcome on in, Dragonfolk. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. I know I did. I can't exactly say the day is over yet, but it's almost bedtime for me recording this, so hopefully I can get this together and out for everybody in a good amount of time. But what I wanted to go over today is kind of a finance video. I think a lot of things I've been seeing after we've seen a lot more openings for Dominaria United and a lot more general love for the set. I'm noticing a lot more in regards to a dip in prices, right? And as you're looking at this, you have to realize that Dominaria United is still not released. As of right now, it is the 6th. So in 3 days, Dominaria United will be released on the 9th. And therefore, the rest of the world will have access to all of these cards, right? Now, granted, you had the people who bought like set booster boxes and draft booster boxes and on, pre-release day, if your LGS allowed you to do so. But everybody who'd been ordering boxes online or so on and so forth, ordering cases at a time, those people did not exactly have that opportunity yet. So in due time, it will come. But I've been looking at Dominaria United for a little bit now, and frankly, it's following the same trend as everything else is. So we're going to go ahead and start with the least favorable box to buy for Dominaria United. We are definitely looking at Jumpstart. As you can tell, Jumpstart's price was originally, before the pre-release, sitting at $112 according to the TCGPlayer market pricing, and has dipped all the way down to $86, and people are selling it for right around $84, including shipping. So I see this has definitely been the case. I've of course made a video stating that I don't like the Jumpstart product. I don't think the Jumpstart product should even have had its own box. If the cards were exclusive, it'd be one thing, but they're not. And not to mention, there's a lot of just regular overall repetitiveness and not enough variety for me to want to buy it. So I feel bad for all the LGSs that have this, and I hope that people are able to sell them. But for right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a very favorable thing. So then we're going to go ahead and move on to the draft box. So it's nice to see that the draft box is still holding pretty good, right? $109, per box, so probably around like $115 plus after shipping. You'll see that it hit a dip and went back up and then went back down. I believe this 105 era is probably going to be low, but it depends on how many people buy it. If a lot of these go onto the market after people buy the product, there's going to be a lot of it. And with a lot of product and nobody buying it, the price is going to get dropped significantly in order for people to sell supply. So Dominaria Draft Box, of course, has its own special thing in regards to the fact that it has the limited, section of stuff, right? With limited formats, you're able to, experience a whole different side of a set and really kind of hone yourself into the cards and what they do. It's a great learning experience to find out what cards do, how they implement themselves with other cards in the set, and how you can best utilize them for constructed sets outside of limited formats. So I like that there's still 36 packs, right? And they're not going with the draft for Baldur's Gate thing or whatever. So 36 packs, that's good. Plenty of packs in there, which means plenty of rares. You're at least getting 36 rares in the box, let alone some mythics if you're lucky enough, which I'm certain you will be. Then you also have some random foils that are popped into there too. So a great open, but I personally think that a lot of people tend to be following the same route that Wizards kind of expects them to, in regards to if you want to open up like a bunch of cool stuff and still only spend a little bit and not you don't have enough for a collector's box, the set boxes are probably the next best thing. So the set boxes, being as they are, they're almost like a weird mix between a collector's box and a draft booster box. The only difference is you don't get any of the special variants that are in collector booster boxes only, but you do still get a chance at more rares and mythics in set boosters. Of course, the only downside being there's only 12 cards, and 2 of them are, one of them is an art card, and the other one could be a list card, but is usually a token card. So something to keep in mind. But the set boosters, I think, are very good for people who just want to crack packs, And it's $122 right now. It was up there, pretty high up there, but I think that was just because it was nearing pre-release time, and now everything's going back down. I expect to see these right around 110, if not maybe 115, depending on how well they're perceived. But again, this set, all it's got is just the box topper and the list. That's like the 2 things that set it apart. The box topper is going to be worthless, and the list, while there are some really cool things in the list, I don't think a lot of people are banking on it, right? New Capenna's list was something to bank on because you had like 64 cards or something in the list, all of them being rares or mythics. So it was very hard to pass up buying set boosters for New Capenna. But set boosters for Dominaria United, you're going to have 300 cards in the list. A lot of them are going to be uncommons, commons, just like bulk old stuff with the list symbol on it. But there are some cool new additions to it, so I think it's going to be worth it in the end if you just like cracking packs. But it's, again, doing the same deal, right? It's dropping down low. It's doing its own thing. Then you have the collector booster boxes. So I think this is where I've seen the most change in boxes, strictly because we were looking for a little while, right? A significant rise in price right around the end of July. And we're looking at almost $270, $280, and that's where we were. But I think over time, people are now starting to see the duplication of the boxes. People are starting to see that there's a big issue with the box top. The box topper duplications. A lot of the variants are kind of the same and not very different. You're not getting a crazy amount of value opening these things. So it looks like a lot of people are not getting what they want out of it. Now, to my knowledge, I believe I'd read somewhere on Reddit that somebody had pulled a moat from a Dominaria United collector booster box, which it's only a matter of time before somebody out there opens a really great Legends card from the Lost Legends slot in the common section. But I think it's very prevalent to a lot of people now after watching a lot of things that it's not as common, right? Obviously, they had said previously it's only 3%. And in these boxes, you're getting a significant amount of new cards, but the new cards aren't even really going to be going for a lot. You have to realize that there are a lot of people who like to gamble out in the world, and opening the Dominaria United collector booster boxes is like the gambler's dream. You have a chance at a card that's worth $4,000 in it, and you get a whole bunch of extra flashy, cool, bright things that will probably sell really well on the market, at least in the beginning, during the first 30-day period. But as we move on, we're going to learn what cards are introduced into what formats, how this is going to work with Pioneer, how these cards are going to work with Historic, how they're going to work with Modern. All of these concepts are going to be implemented through the actual release of this product, and that will help drive a few of the cards up. But I don't believe it's going to be enough to the point where you're going to be guaranteeing the value of the box opening all of the packs. Now, that's a good thing because the sealed box price should not be less than the amount of cards that are inside of it, right? That causes an issue in the market, and it causes a buyout of a whole bunch of boxes, and then those boxes will eventually become scarce, and then the box price will rise to a point where it's above the amount that's in the actual set. So that's something to think about, right? And there's a lot of people who think still to this day that they can buy things like this and that they can crack it open, flip it immediately, go back onto the open market, buy two for the price of one, and then do it again, and then just quadruple your profits from this. But that's not the case, especially with Dominaria United. I don't believe this is something that you're able to do a lot with, and I don't believe that it's something that's going to absolutely make you a rich individual. I believe this is for people who wanted to hunt for the variants. If you collect the variants, this is definitely the box to pick up. And more importantly, if you're a sealed product investor, this is a fantastic product to pick up, especially since you see it's been going down significantly. I don't know where this is going to end. Honestly, if these boxes end up at $200 a piece, I would advise everybody to buy them, because $200 a piece for a chance at this, at a Legends card, is too good to pass up. But I don't think it'll reach 200. That's a long stretch. But that just depends, of course, on how many people buy them. If nobody is buying them, people will want to sell them, and they'll undercut other people's prices until eventually that'll happen. But the big to-do about this is to look at the Double Masters 2022 Collector Booster Box. So with 4 packs in it, it has still steadily rose from its time and is now kind of coming back down, seems to be kind of settling somewhere in the middle here. So 284 is currently the lowest. Well, I guess, yeah, 284.73 for a sealed box. So that's almost, I would imagine, $300 after tax. So $300 for 4 packs, or you could get $260 for 12 packs, right? The difference is that Double Masters 2022 is an amazing set full of reprints, right? Full of stuff that is just going to really change the way you play your decks. It'll add different, themes to your modern decks, your pioneer decks, your commander decks. There's tons of sick reprints in here. And not to mention the fact that even though they are only 4 packs, the guarantee of certain cards in here are so incredibly worth it. Not to mention the actual textured foils that come out of this. Very, very nice. So it's just one of those things. You kind of have to pick your poison. And personally, as far as opening something, I think I'd rather spend the additional $20 and buy a Double Masters 2022 collector box if I was to open something, right? And that's only because these boxes, they contain cards that are going to be used throughout the times. And that is invaluable, because especially if you get them in crazy, variants that they haven't been there before, it's definitely going to be worth having them there. So I guess I'm really just trying to figure out what you guys think about it, right? I, again, would like to I'd pay an additional $20, $30 for a Double Masters 2022 collector box and open that if I had to open it, right? Now, granted, I don't think anybody should be opening either of these boxes. I believe both of these boxes should be kept sealed, as most will agree, especially if you are a sealed investor. Sealed investors, it's just what they do. Obviously it comes with the title. You invest in sealed. That's just what this is. But you need to make sure that you're still making the right choices. And while there's still Double Masters 2022 on the market, I don't believe there's a lot comparatively, right? I mean, 74 listings for collector boxes on there, and a lot of them have, some of them have like over 10, but I believe there's a a new wave coming in to like supplement that. It's not like print to demand. Double Masters 2022 isn't print to demand, but they obviously have more that they're giving more stores. People are still buying Double Masters 2022, and Double Masters 2022 is a nice premium product. With most premium products, you don't actually miss out on any of the negativity, right? There's not a ton of negativity when it comes to premium sets because just about all of them are really, really good, and they are at such a price point to where only a certain like amount of people will be able to afford them on a regular basis to actually make a position. And when that happens, you're essentially able to make the market whatever you want. So premium sets are probably way up there in regards to my personal choice in choosing boxes to buy and keep sealed. Premium product usually is pretty good as far as its contents go. I would check some sites like MTG Stocks. I believe there's some other sets, Dawnglare, I think maybe they do that on there, where you can check the EV of a box to kind of figure out what your estimated value or expected value of a box would be if you'd opened it. So that is kind of my PSA to everybody. Of course, I'm gonna kind of go over all of the Dominaria United stuff as we go. There's a lot more that is to be said about Dominaria United. We're gonna keep our eyes on a bunch of these Dominaria United cards, see what ones are going up, which ones are going down, which ones are making splashes in other formats. I can tell you right now, after playing a lot of Standard in Magic the Gathering Arena, which I hope to get a few more videos up for you guys soon, since you like that getting started guide so much, that Mono Black has been dominating the board, which is really, really, I expected it, right? But I almost expected like a Golgari or maybe even a Mono Green to be up there as well. But Mono Black has been blowing up Standard. And I think it's great because that gives people something to look at. I can make a completely different video on this in regards to why Mono Black is doing so well right now. But as I've always said, there's going to be answers for Mono Black. And I believe there are plenty of ways to get around Mono Black. There's plenty of Planeswalker destruction because Liliana just seems to be destroying people, which is so funny because when Professor Onyx was out and Professor Onyx had your opponent exile a creature, nobody said anything about Professor Onyx. But now that Liliana's out and Liliana has you exile a creature, now it's just different, right? Like, I don't know what's so different about it. The casting cost is less, I guess. So I don't know. We'll have to go over Mono Black. I'm going to try to make a deck and kind of show you guys what the general idea of a Mono Black deck is. Obviously, Shieldred is doing fantastic in the meta. Because how do you not? I mean, Shieldred's just a killer right now. So we'll see what the rest of the set goes, but I'm going to spend some time looking into some stuff, kind of getting more packs, more wild cards, building new decks, getting myself established kind of in the arena space, and then we'll be able to make some nice little deck videos for you guys for Explorer and for Standard. I'd like to kind of focus on both of those. Brawl also. I do like the idea behind Brawl. I think I'd do that too. So thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate your support. Sorry for that little arena rant at the end there. Just wanted to give you guys a little update on how the meta's looking and market stuff. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments down below, which would you rather buy? Would you rather buy a Double Masters 2022 collector box, or would you rather buy a Dominaria United collector box for a chance at that Legends card? Let me know down below. While you're down there, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. I like to make all this content for you guys so we can have nice, fun discussion amongst all of us, and we can kind of come together as a community and truly make waves in the Magic the Gathering space. But we're getting there. I think we're inching pretty close to 400 subscribers now, and once we hit 500, I'll do another giveaway, and we'll have a community board. So I'll be able to talk to you guys in little tiny posts on YouTube. It'll be sick. I'm excited. But until then, continue to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And you can also check the Patreon list down below in the description. We do have a link to the Patreon that we have here if you're willing to support me in a more monetary value. I have cool little tiers for everybody where I can open some packs for you guys. We do a monthly pack opening for our patrons. So hopefully everybody is going to enjoy that. I hope to maybe get some Dominaria United kicked into there at some point during this. So that way it's some new, fresh stuff. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate your support. And I will see you all very soon. Nerd out.